funny, you know, be happy.
He's got a car nice and shiny, you know, be happy.
When your foe thinks you're funny, you know, be happy.
When your bro takes your honey, you know, be happy. You better sing some, better want some, better swing some, better want some, better sing some, better want some.
All right, we just heard an excerpt from the song Africa by Gili Yalo featuring Karen Dunn. He is merging unique rhythms of music with the sounds of his Ethiopian roots, and we are very happy to have Gili Yalo here. Hello, hello.
Hey.
You're very popular. Everybody was abuzz when they saw you come into the studio. It must be nice to see that you affect people.
I'm really flattered. Thank you very much.
So tell us, first of all, kind of your story. It was such an interesting story. We learned about, we learned about it in history, obviously Operation Moses in 1984, but I've never met anyone who's been through it. Your family literally came by foot.
Yeah.
And what do you remember? How old were you?
I was around 5 years old. Luckily, everyone came in peace. My sister stayed because she was ill on the way. She got back to Ethiopia to stay with family because we couldn't go back to Ethiopia. It was very risky. And she stayed there for 6 years and then came to Israel. So luckily I was, like my family came everybody in one piece, but there's a lot of families who didn't came in one piece actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting because you meet people from the Ethiopian culture here and it really is such a beautiful culture, and I noticed like they're such gentle souls. Like, really, would you say that's true of the community in general?
I think the mentality in Ethiopia was different, It's like if you have like a scale of what's important and what's not. So it was different in Ethiopia.
Right.
When you compare it to Israel.
Of course. So tell me how you're able to combine, obviously growing up in Israel, the Israeli part of you, and your background, how that kind of makes a good creative outlet for your music.
I was influenced from a lot of Western music, and for the last years I've been influenced from Ethiopia. So I'm trying to combine them both together because I'm not only one person. I'm not like a singer from Ethiopia. I'm a singer, like my origin is from Ethiopia, but I grew up in Israel and I learned a lot of things. So why don't combine them? This is me, like my DNA.
Of course. Well, but I mean, the beautiful thing is like the sounds are so, unique that you're able to incorporate so many different rhythms. I mean, it's like described as, soul, funk, psychedelic, jazz, like you get it all in there. Does it just kind of come through you? Do you come up with the music first or the lyrics first?
I'm trying not to define music. It's very hard because the people mind will work like what music do you do? So I'm trying not to define, but generally I'm just working, something hits me, I'm making music. I don't think about like, is it gonna be funk, soul or jazz music? I just make music and then I just make sound, and I have like working with some very good musicians. And just
it just
working,
happens.
Yeah, it just happens.
Okay, so we actually have another clip of your song, Salam.
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 Yes.
Wow, amazing. And I just asked you during, where you filmed it, and you actually went to Ethiopia. It was the first time since you were a kid?
Yeah.
Wow. And what was that like?
I was so nervous about it. I think that was one of the reasons I didn't go back there.
Were you scared? Like it just brought up, the trauma of what your family went through?
Maybe, I've been talking about Ethiopia before. So I've been thinking like maybe I go back there and it wasn't like I imagined it will be.
Right.
So I had a lot of fears.
And how did it end up being better than you thought?
It was so natural. I just landed and went out and saw a lot of Ethiopians. You know?
Did you feel going back, like you say, like, you know, I've come from the States, people come to Israel and they're like, okay, you feel like you're at home even if you didn't grow up at home. Do you feel like, did you go there and did you feel like energetically that it was like home, that's where your family comes from over many generations?
I think I was in a very safe place, something with the state of mind. And I felt like, you know, my personality is changing when I'm there for a positive thing, you know, for the positive side. So it was very interesting, and I've been working a lot. So I was like 10 days, and I've been working so hard. And I think that was the reason I found, like, to say, all right, I got to go back there because I got to work. So it was very, very interesting.
Awesome. Thank you. We're